just keep your feet on the floor, you have your knees bent, and you work to try to keep your body as upright as possible. And what you do to do that is you want to make sure that you're pulling your chest up, and as you go into that eccentric or lengthening phase, as you go down, you're going to make sure that you're keeping your chest up towards the sky, and you lower yourself by engaging your lats. All right, so today we're going to talk about 4 different back and bicep exercises you can do on the TRX. Now, you know, with the TRX, it's very versatile. You can do pretty much anything you want. However, sometimes I like to break up exercise groups so that we can kind of isolate, because it is pretty easy to isolate with the TRX, but as we know, it is a great core and overall piece of equipment. So back and biceps, let's get right into it. Exercise number 1 is pretty much the easiest exercise that we have. It is called the mid row, and it's easy because all you do is you grab the TRX straps with your arms full extension and just pull your body forward so your elbows go up to or past your rib cage. I prefer just a little bit past your rib cage. You don't want to go too far past your rib cage, because then that rotates your shoulders forward, brings your chest down, and kind of defeats the purpose of doing a posture correcting exercise. So yeah, it works the rhomboids, those muscles right by your spine, right in between your shoulder blades. Works their rear delts, those muscles that are right behind your shoulders, as well as some biceps and some lats. All right, again, it's pretty easy, very effective. I highly recommend it as a beginner exercise. Now we go a little bit more advanced to a T row. Now I call it an advanced exercise because it is very, very isolating. You're essentially isolating one muscle group, and of course you're working your core to kind of stabilize you. So because you are isolating this one muscle group, I suggest that you step back away from the anchor point. That's a way that you can decrease the load that you're lifting. So you step back from the anchor point. If you're already kind of far back, what you can do is step forward again, and you do what's called a staggered stance. You have one foot behind you, and one foot is going to be underneath you. You're going to use that back foot to help support your body weight. You're going to bend it, and that's going to help you execute the movement without having to worry about sacrificing any kind of postural alignment. So up next, we got something that's very similar to a T row. Actually, it's called the T-Rex row. I don't have a name for it. I don't have an official name for it. I'm pretty sure there's an official name, but I call it the T-Rex row to keep it pretty simple for folks. What you do is you put your elbows on your rib cage. You do an external rotation with your shoulders, meaning that you keep your elbows on your rib cage and you rotate your knuckles outward, and that's going to lift your body up. Now, with this exercise, as well as the T row exercise, you want to focus on really hunkering that chest down, pulling that rib cage down, I should say, and pulling that and keeping that chest up. That's going to really engage your abdominals, and that's going to prevent you from arching your back. All right. A lot of people have the tendency to pull their chest up, pull their rib cage up, and that's going to arch their lower back, and that's really not working the muscle groups that we want to work. So T row, T-Rex row, pull your belly button into your spine, pull your rib cage down, rotate those elbows out when you're doing the T-Rex row. Get those arms as straight as you can. I don't really suggest that in any of these exercises you go for a fully locked joint. So to go back to that T row, you want to make sure that you have those elbows slightly bent, keeping those shoulders down. All right, so yeah, we've got our T rows, we've got our T-Rex rows. Those T-Rex rows, as I mentioned, work those rear delts as well as a little bit of your lats. Once again, great exercise for your posture. Last but not least, we have a modified pull-up. And what you do is you just keep your feet on the floor, you have your knees bent, and you work to try to keep your body as upright as possible. And what you do to do that is you want to make sure that you're pulling your chest up, and as you go into that eccentric or lengthening phase, as you go down, you're going to make sure that you're keeping your chest up towards the sky, and you lower yourself by engaging your lats. All right, so those are 4 really good back and bicep exercises, some of my favorite exercises. One bonus exercise for you here is what I call the half butterfly. It's a good mobility exercise. You just start with your arms out to the side. You're going to bring your hands back behind you with your arms straight as you can. Obviously, again, as I spoke about earlier, you don't want those elbows to be locked. Slight bend in those elbows as you bring those hands back behind you. Now, one thing I want you to be mindful of when you're doing this exercise, to make sure that you keep your shoulders down and your shoulders back. A lot of people have the tendency to rotate their shoulders forward when they're doing this. They feel that you get a better stretch in your shoulder. You might feel a little bit more tension in your shoulder, but that's not necessarily a good thing. That means that you were actually just putting your shoulder in a compromised position. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your shoulders down, keeping your shoulders back. Don't move your arms into the point of pain, of course, and enjoy your TRX experience. All right, so that does it for these 4 exercises. Hope they help you work your back and biceps. Hope you understand a little bit more about how to use the TRX after watching this video. If you have any questions or suggestions for other back and bicep exercises or any other workout routines that you'd like to see, feel free to put them down below in the comment section. I'd also love to see you back here. So if you click on that subscribe button, I think we put it here on the left-hand side. Go and click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the next exercise routine or the next workout video comes out for you. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and as always, keep good company.